And the Mississippi Corrections Department announced it will no longer allow conjugal visits as of February 1st of this year. Conjugal visits refer to a scheduled period in which an inmate of a prison or jail is permitted to spend anywhere from an hour to multiple days in private with a visitor, usually his or her legal spouse. And in that instance, the two parties may engage in sexual intercourse. But now Mississippi, which became the first U.S. state to sanction sex for prisoners, says it will end its century-old program. Corrections Commissioner Christopher Epps says it will end due to raised concerns about costs and, quote, the number of babies being born possibly as a result. Yet, at the same time, studies have shown that there are some positive effects these visits could have as well. In fact, in a 2012 review of family visitation programs, a Yale study showed that the programs functioned as powerful incentives for good behavior, helped reduce sexual activity among prisoners, and helped to strengthen families. The decision, which was announced in December, came as a surprise to prison spouses who rely on them. And that's why those spouses, along with many Mississippi advocacy groups, have organized a rally tomorrow to protest the policy change. To discuss this more earlier, I spoke with Kelly Muscolino, who is a spouse of a Mississippi state inmate. I first asked her why she believes this program is important for her and her family.
Well, it's just essential to keeping us together. I mean, that's the only time that we have that we're just alone, that we can talk, and, you know, people are not just constantly standing over us and watching us. And, I mean, it's only just a little tiny bit of privacy that we get. And it's just important. It keeps my husband out of trouble. I mean, he knows that if he gets in trouble, he's going to lose his visit with me. And so that in itself is just enough to motivate him, you know, to make sure that he does not get involved in anything or is not in the wrong place at the wrong time. I mean, it really motivates them to maintain good behavior.
Sure. Well, one state representative by the name of Richard Bennett, who I'm sure you know, is an outright opponent to this practice. And he said the following. He said, "I don't think it's fair to the children conceived and to the taxpayers. You are in prison for a reason. You are in there to pay your debt, and conjugal visits should not be a part of the deal." So there are certainly other people out there who are going to agree with those sentiments. What's your response to why taxpayers should support this?
Well, I just believe that with MAP, what we feel is like just so many people have been given just excessive sentences. Like my husband was given 20 years for armed robbery. He didn't hurt anyone. He didn't, you know, he took, I think, $200. And at the age of 20, they gave him 20 years. And so I just feel like, you know, it's almost like a life sentence at that time. When he was 20, he got the same amount of time that, you know, that he'd already spent on this planet. And it's just going to take their right away to have a child. We've taken everything away from them already. We're not giving them any kind of rehabilitation options. The state says that they are, but the family is the rehabilitation. Those people that have family that are in facilities, the family is who is rehabilitating them. Those are going to be their support network when they come home, and we need to make sure that we keep those bonds as close as possible.
It makes a lot of sense how that could help. You know, the commissioner is saying that he can no longer justify the supervision and maintenance costs in light of the department's $22.4 million budget deficit. But the department won't say how much money will be saved by ending these visits. And at the same time, only 150 inmates out of more than 22,000 of them have actually taken part in this program. So do you believe that, you know, do you believe what they're saying about the cost being an issue?
No, ma'am, I don't believe that, and I would like for, you know, that if Mr. Epps could prove these prices, these numbers. I wish that he could come up with some statistics to actually show us. He claims that there's 155 people receiving the visits, but he's only counting minimum security inmates, minimum and medium security inmates, both receiving the visit. So I know that there are more than 155 people. Also, he hasn't put a price tag on how much it's costing for the supplies. The families that are in my group, we're willing to pay for it. We feel like it's that important. And so if we knew how much it costs, we'd be willing to, you know, pay a fee every month or every year. That is not an issue. But as far as the cost, I don't feel like there's anything associated with it. If it is, it's minimal. The guards that are transporting you back and forth are walking you to a lockdown cell. They're already on duty. There are no extra people that are working just specifically for the family visitation. Also, the sheets, the pillowcases, whatever other supplies of that nature that we're receiving are made by MBCI Industries, which is the prison, one of the only prison work camps that produces things. Those are made by inmates and produce, they're not outsourcing these to other companies. We're not buying sheets from somewhere. Also, the inmates that are on duty, the trustees are the ones that are cleaning the cells and everything else after visitation is over with. There is no staff, no MDOC staff involved other than just to walk us there and walk us back. It's just, I don't believe him as far as the cost is concerned.
Well, we now have only 4 states that allow for conjugal visits, and that's decreased significantly over the years. Yet when you look at the trend for this around the world, they are actually increasing. Qatar and Turkey have put them into use this year, and many Latin American countries are even allowing them for unmarried inmates. So why do you think the U.S. is striking these visits down while they move forward in other parts of the world?
I don't know why the U.S. is I just feel like we're lacking in a lot of areas. I feel like, we have the opportunities over here to really just change things for the better, and we're letting other countries, jump on that bandwagon. Mississippi was the first state to offer them. We were innovative in the fact that we, used the rehabilitation, we implemented it and found it to be effective. And now, I know other states have jumped off the board, but some have joined. New York's even expanded it to their, gay and lesbian inmates. So, I just really feel like we're getting off of the bus too soon. I don't understand why we're doing this.
Well, Kelly, we really do appreciate you coming on and giving us some insight into this really important issue. Kelly Muscolino, Director of the Mississippi Advocates for Prisoners. Thank you.
Thank you.